This video is made possible thanks to the support of our fantastic patrons. You guys are awesome. Hello everyone, and welcome to another For the Love of Commander podcast, brought to you by Affinity for Commander. My name is Alex.
And my name is Martin.
And today we are looking at the new legendary creatures from the core set 2020.
So first of all, we'll start with the monocoloured creatures, and the first one we're going to look at is Sephara, Sky's Blade, who is a 7/7 legendary angel for 4 generic and 3 white mana, so quite mana intensive in the cost. However, her ability reads, you may pay white and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than pay for the spell's mana cost. She also has flying and lifelink and gives other creatures you control with flying indestructible.
So while she can be cheated out massively early, you do still have to pay command attacks on top of that every single time.
Yeah, it's not like the Revi's ability where you put them into play.
Yeah, the Revi's great.
Yeah, you just have to cast them, sadly. But still, a 7/7 with flying and lifelink gives all your other creatures indestructible if you're playing tribal flying for 4 mana is really, really good.
But then that's pretty much where you have to be. It has to be tribal flyers, which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty good for a 7/7 flying lifelink and everything else is indestructible.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Doesn't give herself indestructible though, so if an effect that deals, say, 7 damage to each creature comes into play...
Chain reaction.
Yeah. Or Blasphemous Act's one of my favourite ones. Yeah. Deals 7 damage to each creature. Yes, your other creatures are indestructible, so they don't die, but as soon as she dies from it, they then lose indestructible and the damage is still on them, so they then die. So it's not quite as good as, say, Avacyn.
Yeah, Avacyn.
Where everything is indestructible. But you could get around that by sticking things on her that stop her from being targeted or make her indestructible or as like give a second life to her. I can't remember what it's called now. Gift of Immortality.
Gift of Immortality, that's the one.
There you go. Any other thoughts?
Beyond that, not really. It's not the card that I look at. It's not like Sharam, which that's probably the best mono white commander, I think. She's not Sharam level. She's funny, but she doesn't solve some of the problems mono white has of card draw and board state.
Yeah, I think that if you're going to go tribal flyers as well, you're going to want the blue, which she doesn't have.
No.
So maybe she'd be better in the 99 in a flyers deck. Quite a cool, interesting card though. I like the alternate casting cost. It reminds me of the Djinn from Dominaria.
The Djinn of Wishes.
Where you tap an artifact and pay some mana. So it's quite a cool concept.
Yeah, she's a cool design. I like they're still looking at how to cheat things out from potentially the command zone back when they did what was it? Commander 2014 with Derevi and Prosh.
I think 2013, but we'll flash it up anyway.
Yeah, when they actually decided to think about the command zone as a zone to interact with, which is a good idea. The next one we're looking at is Atomesis, All-Seeing. For 3 generic and triple blue, you get a 4/5 legendary creature Sphinx with flying. They have, for 2 generic, 1 blue, tap, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. And whenever whenever this card deals damage to an opponent, you may reveal your hand. If cards with at least 6 different converted mana costs are revealed this way, that player loses the game.
Now that's interesting how it's a almost win condition. Obviously in EDH you have to do that 3 times to win. I like how it's got a bit of draw in it, and I like how it's got a interesting and unique win condition attached to it.
Yeah, you very rarely see blue cards that say... you have blue cards that say you win the game, but you have very rarely cards that say your opponent loses the game.
Yeah, and I can't see it in a command, like leading the commander deck.
No, I can't see it being
I'm sure it could be, but it'd be quite a slow, drawn-out game. I think in Unesh, though, this could be perfect because...
Oh, perfect for Unesh.
Unesh lets you not draw, but put lots of cards to your hand. You could quite easily sculpt what cards are in there. And Atomesis, whatever they're called, it would not be the most threatening thing on board because of all the other Sphinxes. So it's one of those where I really like it. I don't think it'd be great as a commander because of the sheer cost of it. 6 mana, then 8, then 10 for your win condition, because mono blue doesn't have many win conditions, let's face it.
It's also the fact that after you've killed one person, you have to reveal your hand. So everyone else at the table is fully aware of what you are working with.
Exactly, yeah.
So you can't bluff up counter magic or bluff up your threats. They know you have a 1 through 6 in your hand because you have to have that to win the game.
And they know that you are a threat because you've just
Yeah, you
killed
just killed
someone. So you need to die. So
Yeah.
it is very much a I need to win now or else I'm going to be knocked out by whoever's left.
Unless you can do this, the only way I could see they was doing this is they did a slight little janky combo with the equipment, the mask equipment.
I have no idea what you're gesturing at.
4 generic mana for an artifact that
Helm of
could
the
cost
Host?
4. Helm of the Host. That would work. That would work beautifully.
I mean, it
Be
wouldn't.
funny.
It wouldn't because
Why not?
Helm of the Host would make 1 copy of it.
Yeah. You kill
So-
2 people.
And yeah, but anything that gives Myriad wouldn't work. It's a legendary creature. So Helm of the Host is the only way you could do that.
Yeah.
And then
So it's just this and Helm of the Host.
it's just
It's
so
jank.
slow.
I didn't say it was good. I said it was
Yeah,
funny.
It's not good. But this card is I personally love this card.
I think it's good
as one of the
design.
9/9. I think that's a recurring theme for these cards.
So
They're
far
all
for 2, yeah.
okay, and they're all a good addition to a deck, but none of them seem like leading material for a deck.
No, definitely good in Nash.
So the next creature is Villis, Broker of Blood, who is 5 and triple black for an 8/8 demon with flying. You can pay black and 2 life to give target creature -1/-1 until the end of turn, and whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. So these 2 abilities straight away work together because you're going to lose 2 life paying for an ability, then draw 2 cards off it. And any other cards effects that say lose life are going to be drawing you value. So it's a cost that actually gives you a benefit now.
Yeah. This is the closest to Grizzlebrand that you'll ever be allowed to play in EDH.
Yeah.
He's great. I think he's one of the strongest ones in the entire set.
He is very good. The only thing that puts me off him, again, being the commander, is his 8 CMC mana cost.
Yeah.
So he'd be great as, again, a 99 card where if you have a good life loss theme or you're paying lots of mana for stuff, or even just you want something that lets you draw cards, you can, as long as you've got the money, you can just say ping some creatures or kill some smaller threats and draw cards back up. That is actually really helpful.
Yeah.
And it is an 8/8 flyer at the end of the day. It's pretty good by itself.
Yeah. And he still, like Grizzlebrand, he can still be in that category of cards that you pitch just to reanimate with Animate Dead or similar effects, where you can just turn 1 or 2, discard him to an effect, turn 3 or above, reanimate him, cheating him out, and then you just have a fantastic draw engine that goes. And honestly, the second this was spoiled, I was like, this seems combo-y.
Yeah, you've got to be able to break it somehow.
Yeah, you can. You can just use Scourge Familiar and stuff like Psychosis Crawler that just immediately
Of course, yeah.
immediately kills your opponents because you lose life, you draw that many cards. As long as you have 1 more life than all your opponents, they die instantly to that.
Yeah, and you have to make sure you've got some sort of mana fixings of unlimited mana as well.
It's black. They've got Cabal, Coffers, Crypt Gas. They've got stuff.
Yeah, but it's another interesting card. They're all very good. None of them I look at and go, this is absolute rubbish. They're all nice in
they're
their
pretty
own way.
alright.
They're nice creatures.
This is still my favourite so far, though.
Yeah.
The next one we're looking at is Draxotheth, Maw of Flames.
Why do they not have them? Easy to pronounce names.
Because magic. For 4 generic and triple red, you get a 7/7 legendary creature dragon with flying. And whenever Draxotheth, Maw of Flames, attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each up to 2 other targets.
Now, I really like this effect. I would say this card is missing 1 key word to
Haste.
make it perfect. Exactly, haste. If this had haste, I'd be like, boom, that is going in like as a potential commander. It's going in all my decks that have big scary creatures. It's going in Felden, that's for sure.
Obviously.
But I just like the fact that it kills 3 things when it attacks, or it deals a shed ton of damage to your opponent. If you were to attack with this, you just set fire to 2 of their smaller creatures, or damage some of their smaller things. They then don't want to block because their creatures are going to die, and you can then deal 4 damage to their face plus 7. That's 11 damage on 1 swing on their face. That's really powerful.
It seems like a fairly well-designed card. I would say not as a commander, just because mono red.
Yeah.
Which this is not what mono red was screaming out for. I think mono red needs card draw and aggression. Aggression it has removal, but it doesn't really help you draw cards, and just it's really obvious as well.
It's a good bomb in a dragon or reanimator deck.
Yeah, if you're going for a more budget version of Scion of the Ur Dragon, you just want to kill some things, I can see it easily be going in there. Or
and if you
say in Felden.
If you can get it out for less than 7 mana, like you have any sort of mana reducers, like so again, tribal dragons,
Yeah.
you get this out for say 5 mana or
Yeah,
less.
so if you play,
it's so worth it.
If you play Dragon Speaker Shaman, or if you have them in,
This is Incubator or something like that.
or your commander is the Ur Dragon,
Yeah,
so running
definitely.
even just one cheap is great. But no, perfectly fine. Not really commander.
We're happy to be proven wrong on all of these, by the way.
Oh
Please,
yeah.
feel
So
free to
if
tell
you
us.
want to upload if you want to show us a game where all 4 of these are in a video and they're all fantastic, at us in it.
So the next legendary creature is one of my favourites from this set because it's mono green, and that's Gargos, Vicious Watcher. So for 3 generic and 3 green, you get an 8/7 Vigilant Legendary Hydra. So already the stats are above vanilla. And they say Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast, which is really nice. And whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
I just think this is really funny.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to get rid of it because it's a big scary 8/7 Vigilant for 6. It's going to take something with it. And I like how the effect is up to 1 target, so you don't have to fight something if it's a really bad matchup for you. If they only have a 1/1 Death Touch out, you can go, nah, that's fine.
The fact that 8/7 Vigilance is already good, and the fact that all Hydras cost 4 less, which Hydras tend to be X in something.
Yeah.
So that immediately makes it incredibly valuable.
The only thing I would say is a lot of good Hydras are red-green.
Yeah.
So for me personally, Roshin, who taps for 4 only to be cast on X spells, seems better because you can get her out faster and she gives you access to all those lovely red-green Hydras.
This can then obviously go into Roshin. It's still a lovely utility card.
Oh yeah, there's probably enough green Hydras alone to make it a commander-worthy card. But I don't know, I'd have to look further into it, but it does seem like the most powerful of the mono-coloured cards, maybe tied with the black one.
Yeah, I'd say the black one's still better just because of the combo potential of it.
It
but
depends
this is...
what you play commander for, though. If you just want big stompy creatures to hit face,
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be...
if you just want to play Hydras and really wreck some people, this is for you.
Yeah.
Our first multicolored commander we're looking at is Kalia Zenith Seeker. For 1 red, 1 white, 1 black, she is a 3/3 human cleric with flying and vigilance. She reads, when Kalia Zenith Seeker enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an angel card, a demon card, and or a dragon card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
So this is obviously going to get comparisons to the other Kalia, and it's not going to be as good as the other Kalia, simply because that one cheats out big angels, dragons, and demons. But I think it's a perfectly good card.
But no, I should say, the original Kalia is a threat and can hit for a lot with sudden dragons and demons dropping. But this card, like, I misread this card initially. I thought it was you just get one of them to your hand.
Oh no, it's up to 3, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can get, I can reveal an angel, a demon, and a dragon. So for 3 mana, you can potentially have a 3/3 flying vigilance, okay, that draws 3 cards that are big threats. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think it goes in the Kalia deck.
Yeah, like, again, you could use it as a commander, but to me, it's more of a support card, like all of the other legends so far.
Yeah. This goes very well in the original Kalia as a 99.
Apart from the fact that she's a human cleric, not an angel, a demon, or a dragon. So the next creature is Kethis the Hidden Hand, who is 1 white, 1 black, 1 green for a 3/4 elf advisor. Legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and you can exile 2 legendary cards from your graveyard. Until the end of the turn, each legendary card in your graveyard gains. You may play this card from your graveyard.
So, obviously, if you want this as a commander, you'd be going legendary tribal. But if you're not just wanting legendary creatures, obviously now with the rules change, it slots into any Super Friends strategy very well.
Yeah, this is the most interesting legendary creature from this set in my opinion, because, like you say, you can go legendary creatures route, you can go the planeswalker route, even legendary lands, artifacts, enchantments, they all fit into this.
Yes, because you can exile anything from the graveyard that's a legendary creature and then just play the lands back from your graveyard.
Yeah, so you can either do this as a additional value deck. You just play a normal Super Friends deck, for example, and then when they die, you can just bring stuff back late game to have some extra value. Or I suppose you could go a mill deck and then just storm the board with stuff.
Yeah, because it's a static effect. It's not just this one legendary creature, it's all of them in your graveyard. Gain, you may play from your graveyard.
Yeah, so you might need to go higher ramp to make the value, because they still cost as much as they do.
Yeah, it's not... they cost 1 less.
This is true, 1 less. I completely missed that. That works in your graveyard too. But you would either have to go low to the ground or have some ramp in there too, because you can't cast, say, a 6 mana Planeswalker and a 5 mana Planeswalker.
No,
You've got no mana left.
You can't really be going to cast, Ugin and then cast Garruk from that. You're going to have to have a lot of mana to do that.
Yeah, but overall, I think it's pretty good.
I think he's good.
It's interesting. I can see a lot of potential in this guy.
Yeah. And you know who likes combos?
You?
Everyone. Because you can just combo this with Hope of Girapor and Ashnod's Altar.
Oh, that's dirty.
Because it costs nothing and you just make infinite mana. Because that's how that works.
Yeah, that is very true. So get your graveyard hate out, guys.
Everyone loves a good rest in peace. Our next one is my personal favourite, #not biased. Kya Wind's Fury. For 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 white, you get a 3/3 legendary creature bird wizard with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And you can also sacrifice a spirit to add red to your mana pool.
Now, this screams you all over. It's Jeskai, it's a Spellslinger-based deck, it makes tokens, the combo potential is going to be high, you can add mana to your mana pool. The possibilities are quite frankly scary.
So, you want Monastery Mentor as a commander in Jeskai that can also make mana.
That is flying, so
That's
it has
flying.
evasion.
Yes. To all of this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I love the art. It can combo well. Well, the obvious combo is you do Isochron Scepter with Dramatic Reversal and anything that produces mana and just make infinite tokens. Which you can then sacrifice to make infinite mana if you wanted to Comet Storm everyone to death.
Which you can do with the red mana you make from sacrificing spirits. Good. It is a very, very good card. It's definitely on the watch for what's going to go on. When people bring it out, I'm going to be worried about it. But it doesn't seem too broken to me at first glance. It seems very powerful, but nothing that's got me panicking.
But yeah, it also seems like something that can slide up and down the scale. It's not like Urza, where it has to pretty much be 7+. You can't make a casual Urza deck, really. Whereas this, you can just play random good spells and just get some value off them and get 1/1 spirits, or you probably can you definitely can make this a CDH if you really wanted to. I can see this easily doing that.
Yeah, because if you were to, say someone's attacking you with an empty board and you cast a spell that's exile target creature, you get a creature to then block their other creature with. It seems very versatile.
Yeah, because you can make infinite tokens, which you can then sacrifice to make infinite mana.
Well, even if you don't make infinite tokens, just being able to go and countering your spell and burning your creature and exiling your enchantment and making a board presence whilst I'm doing it, that's the kind of thing control decks lack, is the ability to create a board presence whilst being controlling. But things like Young Pyromancer will fit in this.
Young Pyromancer, Monastery Mentor, and Talrand.
Yeah, being able to have that in your command zone where you're making those, because anyone that's played against those cards knows that once that control player is casting those spells, 1 per turn, or playing a draw spell and playing a counter spell, and those tokens add up. So being able to do that with your commander and then using those tokens for extra value to cast more spells, it's just really strong.
But no, I love it. Definitely my favourite commander out of the set.
Who would have guessed? Next we have Omnath, Locus of the Royal. For 1 generic, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red, you get a 3/3 elemental that says when Omnath enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card.
Omnath let himself go.
I mean, for me, the green one's the best because he just adds silly mana to your mana pool and gets huge.
See, the old mono green Omnath is objectively the best, but I like the red-green one.
Oh yeah, in my Wingrace deck he has done some serious work. But if you look for the power of the cards against their mana cost, and I'm not talking the original Omnath because obviously there's back in the day commander cards creature cards are a lot more powerful.
What, World Wake?
Yeah, that's quite a long time ago now, darling.
We're old.
So I think he's perfectly fine. He's the elemental commander you deserve, but not the one you wanted.
Not the one you need right now.
No,
he's fine.
Okay.
If his Enter the Battlefield trigger was also on attack, that I think it'd be a lot more pushed, because then it has a bit of red in there where you want to be attacking.
Yeah.
But the fact that you only get one removal if you have a big board state, and then you have some draw power later in the game,
Well,
it's okay.
I'm viewing him as not so much go wide of elementals, but have a few elementals, and have the elemental tribal synergy as your underlying theme. But then, when you play Omnath, you use him to kill a creature when he comes in, because that's what he's going to be doing. Or maybe shoot someone in the face for 6 damage. That's reasonable as well. And then go with the whole landfall theme to make him, or either make him huge or make your army a bit bigger than they should be. I think that's the idea of this: landfall over the first part of the ability, and just have the elementals there as a sub-theme almost to make his ETB better.
Yeah, so I'd go the other way. I'd say it'd have to be more elementals, because you need elementals for the +1/+1 counters to go on.
Well, he himself is an elemental. And if you go landfall, you're drawing a lot of cards as long as you have over 8 lands. So you have them to stop you being hit by all the opponent's creatures and use Omnath as a threat.
So an ultimate techie Voltron strategy. Then you just make Omnath huge and give him double strike with Team of Battle Rage and kill someone.
Or if you can't do that, you find one of your elementals that's pretty good. I can't think of any off the top of my head because elementals is a tribe I haven't really looked into.
No one
But
has.
if you have an elemental that is powerful, and then you pump it, the red-green Omnath, pump a load of counters on him, people don't want to kill him if you've got tons of elementals because you're going to get shot by that. And then, I don't know, there's got to be ways to think. If you can think of any good elementals you would put loads of counters on, maybe one that's unblockable or has hexproof or something. I feel like
he has potential, but he's not super scary.
Yeah, he's not for me, but maybe that's the point. Maybe if he's not being super scary, people will underestimate him, and he can, like I say, if you Scapeshift of this out, someone is going to get huge. So maybe that's the whole idea. He's not meant to be kill this now, you're going to lose. Maybe he is a bit of an underdog and he's going to come up and do some good stuff late in the game.
I look forward to being impressed. Our next legendary is Yarok the Desecrated. For 2 generic, 1 black, 1 green, and 1 blue, you have a 3/5 elemental horror. Hey, there's an elemental.
In the wrong colours, darling.
He has Death Touch, Lifelink, and if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time.
So it's Panharmonicon or a creature?
Panharmonicon, word for word.
Apart from the Death Touch lifelink.
Yeah, give it an artifact, Death Touch lifelink.
Hey, that's what Sidrus is there for.
But no, it's legit, and a 3/5 Death Touch is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, if you're going to make this your commander, it's literally just ETBs and effects that do cool effects. So it's pretty much a Rune of the Hidden Realm deck where you just got ETBs that you flicker about, but you don't really need to flicker. I suppose you could flicker.
Yeah, you're in blue.
Yeah, but anything like... So little things like Rex Sage, a little bit of value, but doubled.
Yeah. Rex Sage, Ravenous Chupacabra.
Anything that says draw a card, or Flashback Marauder. Everyone stacks too. Yeah, there's nothing that's huge, or even maybe you could go huge. For Avenger of Zendikar and get twice as many plants.
Yeah, it seems very, very good.
Or even like his other ability, Avenger of Zendikar, play a land, everything gets 2+1/+1 counters on it. So there is the low end and the high end of the curve value there. I think is really, really good.
I think he's really good. Personally, I wouldn't put him as a commander. Personally, I'd put him as a 99 in Muldrotha, because that deck cares about ETBs a lot as well.
Yeah, and you can play them more, can't you, with Muldrotha? You can keep replaying the
And
ETBs.
if Yarok dies, you can then just replay Yarok.
Yeah, but he is a solid card. Like, I think that Panharmonicon was ridiculous because it was colourless, which meant that it could go in anything with ETB. It was really powerful. Restricting it to just Sultai colours was a good move. Putting it on a creature so it's easier to deal with, another good move. But giving a creature a little bit of frosty by being death touchy.
And lifelinky.
Yeah, but lifelink's not as important as death touch.
No, but it's nice.
Yeah.
They've made it, it's a well-designed card, I think.
And finally we have Rien, Angel of Rebirth, who is the Biobox promo. She is 2 generic, a red, a green, and a white for a 5/4 flying angel. Other multicolored creatures you control have +1/+0, and whenever another multicolored creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step.
Garbage.
I disagree.
Pure garbage.
No. Alex doesn't like anything that's permanent based, so he's going to disagree with me on this. I think that it's not as good as it could have been, but I imagine Wizards have done some testing where they probably changed it a few times in development, probably made her weaker because she could be very overpowered very easily. Just change a few words around there.
But that's what I want. It's a buy a box promo. Nexus of Fate. Tezzeret. This is... we'll go down it. So firstly, we have a 5-mana 5/4 flyer. It's firstly not super when we've just had a 7/8 Vigilance for 6 mana. And then we've got other multicolour creature +1/+0. So that inches more towards aggressive strategies, which is fine in Naya. But then you have, when another multi-creature control dies, return to your owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Wouldn't I just kill this and then kill that?
I mean, if you've got 2 ways of killing people, then sure. But then you're using 2 kill spells or a kill spell and a board wipe rather than just 1. And you can use it in multiple ways. I see it as, if you've got anything that says sacrifice this to do something in multicoloured, like there's the Leonin that's green-white and says destroy an artifact or enchantment by sacrificing it. That comes back to your hand to use again. There's other cards, there's a Loxodon guy who says all your creatures get indestructible. Just, it's a bit of recursion there. Or you can go with, this is my big threat. Are you going to deal with it? Cool, you have to deal with it again, you have to deal with it again. So it could just be a Naya value deck that is difficult to get rid of the threats.
But then at the same time, the thing that gets me is return it to your hand at the beginning of the end step. If it was immediately...
then it'd be really powerful, which is probably why it doesn't say that.
I wouldn't say really powerful. I'd say it's really good, but as to my imagination, there aren't that many Naya cards that are low cost and do such damage that if you sacrifice them immediately, their ETBs start taking over the game, especially when this card itself is 5 mana, which will then die, it'll be 7 mana.
I think the only thing that, to me, would make this really good without breaking it would change the word multicolored creatures to multicolored permanents you control dies.
If it was permanent, I'd be all for that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, because then you've got your auras, the auras, your enchantments, things,
auras, enchantments,
artifacts, because there are some multicolored artifacts.
Planeswalkers.
Yeah, that would be perfect for me. It wouldn't need anything else.
But the fact that it's just creatures and it's the end step and there's a weird tacked on +1/+0.
I think that if you wanted a generic value deck that makes it difficult for them to deal with your threats because you get them back, here you go. If you wanted the multicolored tribal commander that you've been waiting for, maybe this isn't it.
Yeah, maybe Trunkethis.
But I'm probably still going to try and make it work because it's Naya.
And that will be it for another issue of For the Love of Commander. Tell us what you think in the comments below. What do you think is the best legendary from the newest set? And, as always, you can follow us on Twitter @4Commander. And if you really like us, you could consider becoming a patron yourself. And as always, we'll see you next time.